Hey everybody, it's time for another exciting segment of Bibbidi Bobbidi Bartender, where I teach you how to make your favorite Disney cocktails from home. Last week, I started us off on a trip around the world showcase with the France Pavilion's Grand Marnier Slush. This week, it's time for a stop in one of my favorite spots to get drunk at EPCOT, La Cava Del Tequila bar in the Mexico Pavilion. There, you'll find a bunch of iconic Mexican beverages, of course margaritas, different shots and types of tequila for sipping, and also, it's a great place and a rite of passage to get drunk while you're drinking around the world. I actually am going to teach you how to make two very iconic cocktails from the bar. First is the Avocado Margarita, and the second is one that commemorates an old attraction in Norway, the Maelstrom Margarita. For tools, you're going to need a cutting board, a knife, a muddler, a strainer, a fine mesh double strainer, a juicer, a cocktail shaker, and some measuring jiggers. And of course, make sure that you have a good blender. For liquid ingredients, you're going to need Mango Puree, golden agave syrup, Blanco Tequila, Midori Melon Liqueur, and Cointreau or triple sec. For a spiced and salted rim on the cocktails, you will need Hibiscus Salt, as well as Tajin, which is a lime chili spice. So like I always say, we have to start with the least expensive ingredients. That way if you mess up the recipe, you're not wasting alcohol, you're only wasting raw ingredients. So what you need to do is start by cutting and juicing some limes. So you're probably going to need about 2 limes for this recipe. Make sure you always have the lime juice separate because you'll need it for different cocktails and you need different amounts. So what we're going to do is juice about 2 limes, and that should yield about 2 ounces of juice. Now take that lime juice and set it to the side. Now you're going to need an avocado. Be careful while cutting this because stone fruits are always a dangerous fruit to cut unless of course you've either done it a few times or you're really careful. So what you got to do is carve all the way around and remove the stone. I'm going to speed this up a bit so you don't have to waste so much time watching me do this. Now what you got to do is score it a couple times like this once you remove the stone, and that makes it so it's very easy to scoop out. So grab your mixing tin, grab your spoon, and you're going to need about 1/2 of a half, which is 1/4 of that avocado. So 1/2 of a half goes in there. Save the rest of that avocado for your guacamole. Now 1 ounce of lime juice. 1.5 ounces of agave, 1.5 ounces of Midori melon liqueur, 1 ounce of Cointreau or orange peel liqueur, and 2 ounces of tequila. Now this one's actually going to go in a pint glass when it's served, so the easiest way to measure out how much ice you need to blend into this mix is to grab an entire pint glass full of ice. So you have all the ingredients in your shaker, you have your full pint glass of ice, now you just need to put it all in the blender. I like to start with the ice, that way it doesn't splash back as much. And now, all those ingredients. Place the top on your blender and blend or pulse until you have a nice smooth mixture. It's ready. Let's garnish our glass. Now in order to get your glass ready for this, what you need to do is run 1/2 of the edge of the glass through that agave that you have on a plate. Then what you need to do is dip that same 1/2 inside the salt. So I actually created my own hibiscus salt instead of buying it online. In order to make your own hibiscus salt like me, what you need to do is take a 1/4 cup of kosher salt, mix it with a tablespoon of hibiscus syrup, as well as 5 dashes of red food coloring. Then you'll need to whisk it, put it out on some wax paper on a pan, cover it with a glass bowl, and then of course you can put it out in the sun for it to dry, or put it in the oven if you're very careful not to burn it. So now we have our garnish on the edge of the glass like this. It's time to pour it. Take the blender off of the base and pour it carefully into the glass. And there you have it. Salud! I must say that drink is absolutely delicious. This turned out so good, and I am so pleased with the fact that I'm able to make it at home, because this is like one of my favorite things to get at the bar. All right, so let's clean things up a little bit and move on to the next beverage. The spirit of Norway will always be the sea, but the spirit in the Maelstrom is tequila. So let's get started on the Maelstrom. What you're gonna need to do is muddle in your habanero with the lime juice and the simple syrup. So take your habanero and only use one habanero in this recipe, because if you do too much, it will get very, very spicy. So slice that up into a couple even slices and toss those into your mixing tin. Then use an ounce of your lime juice and a half ounce of agave. And now what you'll need to do is use your muddler to muddle everything that's in there right now. You can give it a light muddle, so do it for about 10 seconds, and that's gonna make it so all the flavors are very well infused into this cocktail. Now we're gonna add 2 ounces of tequila, half an ounce of Cointreau or orange peel liqueur, and finally 2 ounces of Mango Puree. Now it's time to shake, so go on over to the fridge and get some ice. So you have your ice, all of your ingredients in the glass, now it's time to shake. So make sure you get a nice tight seal on that shaker. You should be able to hold it by the top or hold it upside down without it breaking the seal. And of course, now it's time for your friends and family to judge you, because who better than them? So let's go ahead and shake. 10 Mississippi, 10 Mexico, or 10 Cava Del Tequila will work, but you need to shake it until the tin is very cold. Separate the top. This one has a full rim, so what you're gonna do is run this glass through your agave again. Make sure you give it a good shake so nothing really drips off, and then run the glass through your Tajin or chili lime seasoning. So make sure you fill this glass with fresh ice, grab your strainer, grab your double strainer to get out all the seeds from the habanero, and pour it into your glass. Now to garnish the cocktail, you're gonna need a small little handful of maybe 2 or 3 blueberries, just like that. 1 nice leaf of basil, smack it so it opens up all the veins in the leaf, give it a nice fragrant sort of aroma, and there you have it, 1 Maelstrom Margarita. Cheers. Well, there you have it. The Maelstrom Margarita and the Avocado Margarita from EPCOT's Mexico Pavilion at the Cava Del Tequila bar. If you have any questions or have any drinks that you'd like to see prepared on this channel, please make sure to comment them below. And don't forget, if you try these out, to send me your pictures at cam.mac.adventures on Instagram. And always, I'd really appreciate it if you smash that thumbs up button to show your support, and subscribe if you haven't already so you don't miss an upload. Until next time, I'm the Bibbidi Bobbidi Bartender, Cam Mac of the Cam Mac Adventures, and I'll see you next time.